Today's gospel speaks about people asking Jesus if it's true that only some people will be saved and some won't. Is it true that some people will get into heaven while that means others won't? That they'll end up in hell? Well, this gospel reminds me of Bishop Barron, who every day sends out his reflections on his readings from the gospel and from Mass of that day. So every morning I read his email and I really like it. And I remember he talked about that one day and about today's gospel. And I want to talk about what he wrote. He basically said that ever since the beginning of Christianity, people have often wondered, will only some people be saved and allowed to go into heaven and the others thrown into damnation or hell? Well, it's very understandable that we're fascinated with asking those types of questions. But what is the church's teachings on that? Well, really, it is that we don't know. Yes, Jesus already did tell us that it is possible that some will experience damnation. But all throughout the church and its teachings, we know that some people have gotten into heaven. And those are the ones who have become saints, where we've been witness to the miracles. So we know that they've made it into heaven. But what's interesting is we've never really taken a look at someone who did not make it into heaven or has become an anti-saint. It's okay for us to have hope that all will be saved. In the Bible, St. Paul wrote a letter to Timothy. And in that letter, Paul explained to Timothy that God wants us all to be saved and that he wants us all to know God's full truth. So finally, Bishop Barron said in his closing that he invites all of us to pray and to hope and to work on getting through that narrow gate. Now, as far as I go, I'm thinking, what does that narrow gate mean? Well, Jesus did say in his teaching, God's expectations for us will be challenging, but we have to try and follow God's teachings and his will. And we have to resist that temptation which leads us to sin and separates us from God and from having everlasting life with him. So it's important that we have a good relationship with God, that we follow his will, and then when we die, we will be with him forever and ever in heaven with him and the other saints. Thank you, and God bless you.